Greetings. Good to have you along for the ride. Hey, you know the deal. Go ahead and find your semester 2 vocab and then hit tab to add a few more rows. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new vocab terms. All right, let's get into it. So, let's start off, quick review, character archetype, and then I want to get into this concept of protagonist and antagonist. Might be familiar to a number of you. You had a reading log entry where you tracked your protagonist. So protagonist, central figure, antagonist, often the main force that creates conflict for the protagonist. What I want to communicate here is this idea of force, that a protagonist doesn't necessarily have to be a person. We'll talk about different types of conflict way later this year, but a protagonist could be like the Society of Panem in the Hunger Games, right? Go ahead and write down our definition and terms for protagonist, antagonist now, and then find your related image or example in the right-hand column. Don't forget to do that. All right, welcome back. So, anime. Some of you know this already. We've gotten into some beautiful, rich, spiraling discussions. How do you define anime? How do you do it? I'm going to give you a okay definition, but I would encourage you to use your own critical thinking and your own lived experience to add to this or enhance it. So in Japanese, the term anime is used to refer to all animated works. It's a katakana word, regardless of style or origin. But in English language dictionaries, frequently kind of typically define anime as a style of Japanese animation or a style of animation that's originating in Japan. Beyond that, honestly, there's not a lot of hard and fast rules about what makes an anime or how that's different from just a general animation, something like Wall-E or Coco, right? So I would encourage you, especially as we go through Spirited Away, to start to think about what about this makes it inherently anime, makes it inherently within this Japanese style structure, and what might blend that line a little bit. Go ahead and write down our term and definition for anime and see if you can come up with an example or an image now. All right, the rest of these, damsel, jester, mentor, anti-hero, are all character archetypes. So let's talk about them and then let's problematize them. Starting with the damsel. What do you notice in these pictures? They're all women? What? So our definition we're working with is someone who needs rescuing, often becomes a companion to the hero, and often traditionally is portrayed by a woman. Again, remember you have that extra added article in the back of our hero's journey packet if you want to get really deep into feminist criticism of the hero's journey or of character archetypes in general. There's a lot of space to take a gendered view here. Moving on, let's talk about our jester. So jester, by definition, you've got a few examples there, right? Suri from Black Panther, Chandler, C-3PO, Mushu. A jester, it provides needed humor, and they often become braver as the story goes on. There's a lot of like morals or even theme messages that can come out of jesters, and oftentimes jesters tell hard truths in a humorous way. Moving on, next one, mentor. Someone who provides instruction and support for the hero, giving confidence. So we've got T'Chaka from Black Panther, Dumbledore, Yoda, the Oracle from The Matrix. Remember, in the hero's journey, the mentor archetype often enters at that initiation stage. You're into the special world, now you need a guide. This could be a coach, this could be a good friend, a family member, a parent. Our last character archetype is going to be anti-hero. So an anti-hero is a central figure in a story who lacks conventional heroic attributes. They're frequently maybe defined by their failure, their struggle, or their humor. If you've seen any of like Jessica Jones Marvel shows, that is an anti-hero. Let me show you a few more examples. Harley Quinn, Homer Simpson, Loki. I'm kind of on a Marvel kick right now, apparently. Unpopular opinion, fight me on it, Snape from Harry Potter, and of course Yield, Tony Stark. So I'll ask you at some point in class which kind of character archetypes you identify with, but I want you thinking as we go through this movie, what are you seeing? What are the patterns? How are they showing up? And then who could you write into your story ultimately? All right, make sure you've got all of these and the little pictures and definitions and examples on the right-hand side. That bit a few of you on that notebook grade. See you in a bit.